My father told me stories that were implicitly disrespectful, and yet he expected a certain obedience. And that, the dichotomy of that, puzzled me in the beginning, that he was simultaneously subversive and yet for a kind of order. In other words, he was the intellectual undermining the structure of society, but at the same time he was a father, reinforcing the concept of a family. And this was very hard for me to understand, and just as hard for my brother to understand. I think my sisters got it because they came after. But I was first, and I was nonplussed at times by what appeared to be the contradiction. I think that the most notable thing of my early childhood was my father's stories. We used to sit in front of the fireplace in the wintertime, and he would tell us the masterpieces of European literature. I think I got a great mark in the college boards, for instance, when I was in prep school, not because I studied, but because I knew so many stories. I knew Balzac, I knew Boccaccio, I knew Virgil, I knew Homer. I knew the stories, not the poetry. I learned that later, or not the novelistic structures, but I knew the stories because those were the stories he told. And he told, for instance, the Count of Monte Cristo so well, the same way he told Homer. He had an innate sense of structure, which is something that interests me. He would break down a story as he told it and then say, that's enough. He had a great sense of theater in which he knew when to stop, so that we would say, oh, Dad, please, come on, just 2 more minutes. Nope. Time to go to bed. And then we couldn't wait for that story to begin the next night. That really gave us a feeling of structure that did not come from reading until one learned to read professionally, until one, named the one meaning myself, meaning I, until I learned how to read with a professional eye.